Hello everyone, Lone Reader again with another video. This is, as promised, all that other stuff you saw at the end of the old video. Come on, there we go. Okay, so it's basically all this stuff. Let's just go in sequential order here. So this is actually a cool circuit. This is the amazing autohouse. It works better at night, but oh well. You'll notice it's kind of dark in there. Right. This came about in part because I've always wanted, like, okay, you know, like most houses you just put a torch in or whatever. I thought it would be cool, like, I don't know, wouldn't it be awesome just to have a house that just turned on the lights like that? See, so now you're safe and you're not wasting energy, so it's eco-friendly. Haha. Just to show you that this isn't just some trick with, like, repeaters sitting in state. This torch is on once, turned on. Turn it off. The torch goes off, and this is all wired from a single button. Granted, these are two separate buttons, but they go to the same output, so both of these can turn on or off at will, which is cool. And then, of course, when you exit, let's go off. Alright, that's pretty awesome. I have another version of that right here, which uses this is harder actually, because I had to split one button to power alternately two separate circuits, which I'll show you the circuitry for that. It's kind of cool. But one button is on, the other button turns it off, and that's the typical, ceiling 3 piston light switch with a sticky in the middle and 2 regular on the sides. This is another cool thing. I built a clock, right? But not your typical clock. Yes, the chompers. You'll see why. Because this clock has a stop and start function. So here we go, starting it. Hence chompers. Ow. And then you can stop it. And there it stopped. Is that cool or what? Yes, pistons were the most awesomest thing since the invention of the wheel. Alright, now this piece is pretty cool. I have to admit, the inspiration for this did come from my friend who built something similar. It was like a hidden spiral staircase, which I actually have one of those. But that's really the only thing I copied it from. So this is blah blah blah. All you really need to know is that it does this cool thing. Ta-da! That was pretty cool, wasn't it? For those of you who are completely noob at redstone, wow, I can't talk at all today. This looks really scary and big. It's really complicated. No, sorry, really simple, not complicated at all. Wow, I really can't talk. Because basically this circuit down here is a giant-ass clock that just goes around and around. It's the same as this circuit right here, and this circuit is the same as that circuit right here. So you could make this whole thing with copy pasta. The only thing that was a little tricky was the on circuit, and then over here on the opposite end, the stop circuit. The way I started this was with a short pulse creator. This guy, well, a little modification. I put a redstone repeater in there so I could modify the length of the pulse, but check out this guy. Okay. So that's used to start that. It's actually, here, I'll show you. It's buried down under here. Ta-da! And see the repeater, so I can modify the length of that pulse if I want to. Get out of here. No, I'm trapped. There we go. Alright, the way it works is this. When I press the button, that torch will pulse on for a split second. Like that. And you notice it also powers this guy. That's sand on there. And watch this. Excuse me. There. It actually pulses so fast that the sand does not have time to start falling before it's supported again, which is cool. You can actually do this standing on top of the sand, which is a neat little party trick. Alright, button press. Ta-da! Didn't move at all. That was neat. The way I did this is, it's simple. You have a primary line going straight from the button to the torch. So when the button's pressed, that line keeps the torch off for the duration of the button. You also have a secondary line, which goes to this secondary torch, which is default state is on. So that's what keeps this guy off when the button isn't pressed. Now the way you generate the pulse is you turn the button on, and okay, so you have two lines going from the button. One goes to this first torch to keep it off. The other goes to the secondary torch to turn it off. And this all works in the fact that, so the button has a pulse length, right? Kind of a long pulse length. What happens is, this pulse length turns this off at the same time that it keeps that off for the same amount of time that it turns this on. The way it works is, there's a slight delay between this block being powered and this torch being turned off. So there's a slight delay in here. So what you get is, for a split second, both of these lines, after this button, the split second this button turns off, this line goes dead, and this line still hasn't activated yet because there's a slight delay in that block to that torch. So that's where you get the pulse from. One weird thing I found, the secondary circuit, this always on, has to come in from the back or the side. Let me just show you in from the side. It still works from the side, alright, provided that this primary circuit doesn't come in from the back. So here they're both coming in from the side, and it works. So you get a pulse. However, let's say you take it in from the back, and this torch, I believe, yeah, no longer pulses, although this top guy moves. If you put a torch up there, it will pulse. Although the much simpler way to do it is just have them both coming from the side, or have the secondary coming from the back. That's also pretty easy. Then you get your pulse. Or you can put a small repeater on here, and that's what I did with that guy, and it lets you modify the pulse length. For those of you who want, not quite as short. This is also a cool thing. This is the box, and it has not been reset. So I will show you that in a later video when I explain some of this stuff. So again, thanks for watching, and if you're a redstone genius, I don't see why you're here, but thanks anyway. Bye.